Howdy folks, Mark Serbu, gun designer, gun nut. You ever get those emails from certain places that tempt you with, gosh, I can't talk about certain things because you know how the tech overlords are about acquiring things and talking about what it takes to acquire the certain things based on how much, how big of a stack of little pieces of paper you throw. Anyway. You know what I mean? It's ridiculously cheap, and for that it's just I had to get it. It's like, my God, are you kidding me? And basically, this thing's the price of a pack of T-shirts, and it looks really good. I'm just amazed. Basically scaled up an AR to a 12 gauge. And it's not perfect fit and finish. I mean, look at that. That would bother me as somebody who makes stuff. Like, it's weird because it meets there, it's flush, but the chamfers don't line up. Bottom, you see like this side is good. But I'm being really picky. Who really gives a crap? I know some people do. If you're paying thousands of for something, then yeah, you'll expect better. And you know what, these are M-LOK cutouts, and it doesn't have the M-LOK symbol, which is unusual, but those are definitely M-LOK cutouts. It's got I don't even know how long the barrel is. I would say, I don't know, somewhere around 20 inches, and it does have screw-in chokes. It takes the Remington pattern. It's got an adjustable gas block, 4 positions, and it's neat how it works. Move that to the side and then rotate it around. And I actually had to use it because I was using skeet loads in here and it wasn't cycling. They were very light skeet loads. And here now I can't make it work. There we go. I just turned it off, I think, put it on 0. But anyway, yeah, I'm impressed. I can't imagine how they can do this stuff that cheaply. I mean, yeah, it's China, but God, just insane. So let's take a look inside. Now the upper and lower separate just like a normal AR. In fact, it's not that much bigger than a standard AR. It's probably the same size as an AR-10. One thing that struck me as odd is the little stop for the buffer spring. It's instead of having a centrally located pin down there at a 7-degree angle or whatever the hell it is, it's got this little thing off to the side. You just I don't want to make it sprawling across the room. Hold on, let me you'd think I'd have something to hold this camera today, wouldn't you? But it hasn't arrived yet. So yeah, push that down. Let's just do this. The right way. Oh, you know what? There we go. So it's a semi-normal buffer. I don't know what the spring in there is for. It's a pretty stout spring in there. It's got a die spring in there for some reason. Okay, and then just looks like a fairly normal recoil spring. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I got an AR spring right here somewhere. Let's go look at it. Okay, well, it is pretty close to the same diameter. Yeah, seems like same diameter. Yeah, let me get scientific and measure it with feel. But obviously it's a lot longer and the coils are spread out more. So this has got a higher spring rate, which you'd expect, 12 gauge shotgun. But anyway, not a detail you need to care about. And if you look at the trigger group, it's just pretty much totally AR. I mean, a hole drilled in the side of the hammer for some reason. This is kind of funny that the last shot bolt hold open is a steel assembly that's been screwed into there. Probably had a little bit more more force on it, of course, and maybe needed to buttress it with steel. Now these takedown pins are just, you know, standard. Well, they're not standard. I don't think they're standard size, but they work. You know, work the same, and they work very well. They're, you know, sometimes on the cheaper ARs, these are they're crappy and they don't work very well. These are good. Now, let me get that bolt out of there. Just like any AR, just this comes back, and of course I'm making a liar out of myself. What did I do wrong? Oh, it just doesn't want to unlock. Well, I'm not yanking it hard enough. It looks just like a pretty standard AR charging handle, a little, maybe slightly beefier, and that's yeah, it doesn't have a hole in it. But look at that, huh? Oh yeah, so it is not direct gas impingement. You might be able to see the end of the piston rod in there. So it does have a gas block in here, big ass gas block, and you can actually see the return spring for the op rod, piston rod, whatever. Yeah, so it's got a piston in there, rod about that long that does its thing. So look at this bolt. That is pretty neat looking. So yeah, it's got a lot of dwell. The dwell is what we call the part of the cam path that is straight, doesn't do any rotating of the bolt head. So this thing recoils quite a ways before it starts to rotate it. And that's probably because, you know, you can't have a lot of pressure inside of a shotgun shell. It can't really support anything before it blows the crap out of it. God, it's semi-reminiscent of the AK shotguns, you know, the Izmash, or whatever the hell he's saying. Look at that. Yeah, it's got just one extractor, fixed ejector, and your locking lugs are back here behind. Just pretty neat. That big tall tower there that the gas piston pushes off against. Spring-loaded firing pin. Of course, my main wonder is, can it rock and roll? And looking in there, you know, there's definitely room for an auto sear, and you know, M16 hammer instead of AR hammer with a little hook on it. And this does have, you know, it's machined away, but you know that. It might be in the right position to trip one, or just, you know, put a little shelf in there like we used to do in the old days. You'd make yourself a little piece that would go in there and attach with set screws, and it would be enough to trip the auto sear. But anyway, pretty neat. Okay, one odd thing when I fired these, look at that shell. It's got a big old bump in there. They all do. And I guess it's because the you got a lot of unsupported area there where the fixed ejector has to pass through. So, or up here maybe. Yeah, it could be up here too, because that extractor it's got some room in there. But you know, these are cheap with aluminum base. Oh, look at that! God, it formed into there. Also, I guess there's some other area where it can go. This is weird. But again, these are cheap. I'll find some brass ones and see if they do the same thing. Yeah. So this has some areas that conformed to. You know, I noticed in the barrel in there. There's some. You know, a lot of little clearance cuts, little chamfers and things. And by the way, you notice how silver that barrel looks. I guarantee you that's a chrome lined barrel, so that's pretty awesome also. Man, chrome lined. But I guess China's probably got, I think all their rivers must be full of chrome or something. But you can see the locking lugs in there, back a little bit from the chamber mouth. That's pretty interesting. This is cool. To me, this is a cool thing. And you know, a lot of times when something's made in China, it's crap, and it's just, you're like, oh God, yeah, it's Chinese. But God, I've only shot it a little bit, and I'm pretty impressed so far. I kind of want to put a red dot on it and go shoot sporting clays and see how it does. Anyway, we'll let you know. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate you as always. Don't forget to like, subscribe. If Edwin leaves a comment under his making fun of him, I'd appreciate that. No, you don't have to make fun of him. But anyway, pretty cool. Heck of a lot of gun for the money, no doubt. I'm looking forward to, like I said, putting a red dot on there and taking it for a sporting clays outing. I think it'll be interesting. I've never actually shot sporting clays with any kind of optic, and I think it'd be neat to try it for a change. And just never had a shotgun that had a Picatinny rail, so that was a good excuse. Thanks again. Catch you next time.